The fall. They came without warning. The Vrok swarm descended upon Earth like a plague of metal and malice. Their ships blotted out the sun. Their weapons turned cities to glass. Their soldiers, bioengineered nightmares, hunted humans for sport. In 72 hours, human civilization fell. 7.8 billion people reduced to 340 million scattered survivors. The United Nations dissolved. Governments collapsed. Nations ceased to exist. The Vrok overlord, Karex the Undefeated, stood atop the ruins of New York and broadcast his message across the broken planet. You are prey now. Your weapons are toys. Your technology is primitive. Your spirit is broken. You will serve us, or you will die. There is no third option. And for the first time in human history, the world went silent. Humanity had fallen. But the Vrok made one critical mistake. They assumed broken meant defeated. Chapter 1, Year 1, The Tunnels. Commander Elena Vasquez crouched in a flooded subway tunnel beneath what used to be Mexico City. Around her, 43 survivors, mostly children, huddled in the darkness. Is it safe yet? Whispered a little girl, Maria, no more than 7. Not yet, Mija. Soon. Above them, Vrok patrol drones hummed past, scanning for human heat signatures. But Elena had learned. Floodwater masks thermal readings. The old world's infrastructure was their new fortress. A man crawled through the darkness, Chen Wei, former software engineer, now scavenger. Found it, he whispered, holding up a Vrok power cell. Fell off a transport drone. We can power the water purifier for 2 more months. Elena nodded. Good. Anything else? Yes. Chen's eyes gleamed in the darkness. I found others. In the tunnels. Hundreds of them. All organizing, all surviving. How many hundreds? Maybe, 50,000. Just in this region. Elena's breath caught. 50,000. They weren't alone. Commander, said Dr. James Okonkwo, former neurosurgeon, now field medic. We can't just survive. We need a plan. We need hope. Elena finished bitterly. Hope died with New York. No. James looked at the children. Hope is why we're still breathing. These kids. They're our plan. They're our future. Maria tugged Elena's sleeve. Miss Elena. My abuela used to say. La hormiga vence al elefante con paciencia. What does that mean? Asked Chen. Elena smiled sadly. The ant defeats the elephant with patience. Chapter 2, Year 3, The Network. The Vrok couldn't understand it. Human resistance should have been eliminated within 2 years. But attacks kept coming. Small. Precise. Devastating. A supply depot destroyed in former Russia. A mining operation sabotaged in Australia. An entire battalion disappeared in the Amazon. Overlord Karex roared at his subcommanders. Find them. They're insects. How are insects defeating us? What the Vrok didn't know, the insects were talking. In abandoned sewers, caves, and bunkers across the planet, humans had built something the galaxy had never seen, a global resistance network using pre-digital technology. Radio. Morse code. Runners. Signal fires. No internet meant no hacking. No satellites meant no tracking. Elena, now coordinating the entire Western Hemisphere, stood before a makeshift map in an abandoned mine. Listen up, she addressed her cell leaders via encrypted radio. The Vrok have technology. We have knowledge. They study war. We lived it. Every human conflict, every strategy, every dirty trick our species ever invented, we use it all. Commander, said Yuki Matsumoto from the Asian Resistance, her voice crackling over the radio. Our network just connected with the African coalition. We're now coordinating 6 continents simultaneously. How many fighters? Active resistance, 2.3 million. Support network, 47 million. Growing daily. Elena felt something she hadn't felt in 3 years, hope. The VROC think they conquered Earth, she said quietly. They didn't. They just pissed off the locals. Chapter 3, Year 5, The Counteroffensive. Dr. Sarah Goldstein worked in a laboratory hidden inside a glacier in Antarctica. Former NASA physicist, now humanity's lead scientist. Impossible, she muttered, staring at the captured VROC weapon. The power output doesn't match the energy input. There's a gap. Chen Wei, now her assistant, leaned closer. What kind of gap? The kind that means they're pulling energy from somewhere else. A dimension we can't normally access. She smiled grimly. But if they can do it, we can steal it. Better. We can cut it off. Meanwhile, in the Himalayas, a young soldier named Amara was training the newest generation. She was 19. Born the year of the invasion. Raised in tunnels. Never knew peace. Again, she barked at the teenage recruits. The VROC are stronger. Faster. Better armed. So we're smarter. We're meaner. We grew up in hell, they're just visiting. These kids, the tunnel generation, knew nothing but war. They moved like shadows. Struck like lightning. Feared nothing. Because what could scare you when you were born into the apocalypse? Chapter 4, Year 7, The Awakening. The VROC overlord finally understood his mistake. He'd studied human military history. Wars between nations. Organized conflicts. But he never studied human survival history. Humans who endured ice ages. Plagues. Famines. Genocides. Humans who clawed their way up from nothing, again and again and again. Sir, his intelligence officer reported, voice shaking. We've lost control of 68% of the planet's surface. The humans, they're everywhere. In the walls. Under the ground. Inside our supply chains. We have no idea how many there are. Impossible. We killed billions. Yes. But there were 8 billion. And the ones who survived. The officer pulled up footage of a recent ambush. Human fighters moving with supernatural coordination. They're not the weak ones. They're the strong ones. The smart ones. The determined ones. We accidentally created a species-wide selection event. We culled the weak and left only the most dangerous humans alive. Carex watched the footage in growing horror. A 12-year-old human girl taking down a VROC soldier 3 times her size using nothing but a sharpened piece of rebar and knowledge of anatomy. An elderly man rewiring a VROC drone mid-flight, turning it against its creators. A team of teenagers collapsing an entire military installation using explosives made from cleaning supplies. What are they? Carex whispered. Deathworlders, the officer replied. We invaded a Class 12 death world. We didn't conquer it. We just made it angry. Chapter 5, Year 10, The Turning Point. Dr. Goldstein's voice crackled across every resistance radio simultaneously. All units. This is Phoenix Command. We've cracked it. Uploading technical specs now. In 72 hours, we cut their power. All of it. Every ship. Every weapon. Every shield. They'll be blind, defenseless, and grounded. How? Elena asked. Turns out, their entire empire runs on one centralized power network. One frequency. One access point. Sarah laughed, actually laughed. It's elegant, efficient, and catastrophically stupid. They assumed no primitive species could ever find it. They were wrong. Very wrong. 72 hours later, humanity struck. On every continent. In every occupied zone. Simultaneously. At exactly 3 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, Dr. Goldstein activated the device, cobbled together from scavenged alien tech and human ingenuity. The results were instantaneous. Every VROC ship fell from the sky. Every weapon system died. Every shield collapsed. And 7 million human fighters emerged from the tunnels. Chapter 6, The Last Battle. Overlord Karek stood in his command center as the lights died around him. No. No. This isn't possible. The doors exploded inward. Elena Vasquez walked through the smoke, flanked by Amara and 100 tunnel-borne soldiers. Behind them, thousands more. You said we were broken, Elena said quietly, raising her weapon, a human rifle modified with VROC tech. You were right. You broke us. Then why? Because broken doesn't mean defeated. She smiled without humor. It just means we have nothing left to lose. And humans with nothing to lose. We're the most dangerous thing in the universe. Amara stepped forward. I'm 19 years old. I've lived my entire life in your shadow. I've never seen a world at peace. You stole that from me. We can negotiate. We don't negotiate with invaders, Amara cut him off. We learned that from our history. You wanted to teach us our place. Congratulations. You taught us how to fight back. The battle for Earth lasted 14 hours. When it ended, the VROC swarm was destroyed. Not defeated. Not repelled. Destroyed. Every ship. Every soldier. Every trace of their presence. Humanity showed no mercy. Because mercy was a luxury they couldn't afford. Chapter 7, Year 12, The Message. Elena stood in the rebuilt United Nations building. Older now. Scarred. Changed. Around her, representatives from every surviving region of Earth. We've detected something, reported the new defense coordinator, Chen Wei, still at it after all these years. A VROC distress beacon. Must have gone out during the invasion. How far? It's been traveling for 12 years. It just reached the VROC homeworld. They'll know what happened. They'll know their invasion force was destroyed. Silence fell over the assembly. Then Amara, now General Amara, leader of Earth's military, spoke. Good. Let them know. They'll come back, someone warned. With more ships. More soldiers. Yes, Amara agreed. But we won't be in tunnels anymore. We'll be ready. We'll be waiting. Dr. Goldstein stood. Actually, I have a better idea. She pulled up a holographic display. We've been studying their technology. Reverse engineering it. And we've made improvements. Their FTL drive had a maximum range of 40 light-years. Ours goes 80. Their weapons needed that dimensional power source. Ours use fusion, renewable, unlimited. What are you saying? Elena asked. Sarah smiled. I'm saying we don't wait for them to come back. We go to them. The assembly erupted. That's insane. We barely survived them here. We don't have the numbers.